We told you so. We told you so. Well, I didn't want to do this, but I guess this episode is going to be a harsh reality for Georgia fans. Keon, welcome into the DGD Podcast, folks. I think we're just going to go ahead and jump straight to the point. Tonight might not be a show if there's a Disney dog around. This is not the show for you. I will say this, but before you do, make sure to like this first, okay? Just help us out. We're about to have some harsh reality talks. It is what it is. And so, again, we saw this shit coming, and Keon, we were right, unfortunately. First things first, though, how are you doing, though?
Doing good, Rob. Would be doing better if we were sitting up here talking about a win.
Fair. I'm ready for the folks that are saying that, we're going to be, this and that and whatnot, Georgia haters and all this shit.
I'm going to also say to the parents of these kids, we're going to have an honest kind of conversation today. So if you can't look past, right, your child being your baby versus looking at this game objectively from what we've seen up until this point, we will give you a second to go ahead and turn this off. Because to be real, if we're not going to have real conversation about what we've seen out of this team up until this point, and it just doesn't start with this year. If it doesn't start, it just doesn't start with this year. Because to be all the way honest, some of the issues we saw last Saturday, this is year 2 of those issues. So to the thin-skinned parents, this is your time. Take this time right now to hit that leave, hit that exit, close this out, and come back next week.
Or come back Wednesday. Right, we got a game to win Saturday, but yeah. Listen,
this ain't gonna be. This is not gonna be the podcast for you. I couldn't be more honest and real about that than what I am now.
I do want to preface though, these hard conversations that need to be addressed. There's also good. I want to preface that there is good from what we saw Saturday. But there's some shit that we saw that we expected and it didn't change. So we have to talk about it. Yeah, do you want to talk about the good or the bad first? You want to get the bad shit out of the way?
Yeah, let's get the bad shit out the way. Let's
listen. We want to end on a good note. So let's do this. Get this out of the way. Keon, the first things first. When I look at this game Saturday, to me, I am downright disgusted at one specific stat. 13 of 19 third down conversions for Alabama. I want to sit there and say that again. 13 of 19 on third down conversions. I hope people realize that that's the worst Georgia's done on conversions and third downs and allowing conversions in 30 years. Cole Kubelik dropped that stat. We could not, our defense could not get off the field. Could not do it.
To set the stage, I'm 30 years old. I turned 30 this year. So
I look at it this way. There are some, I saw the adjustments being made. What upsets me, I miss the days where our defense hunted and you could tell they were hunting. They were aggressive. I look at Coach Lanning when he was here. Extremely aggressive. And you got, right? You got. But by God, you couldn't say you weren't aggressive. I don't know what it is. I do not, in my opinion, do not like the fact that we sit there and we're kind of a reactionary defense to start. We're waiting for them to, as a defense right now, we're not dictating the game and how we want to play it. We're playing to other people's games. Why are we doing that? Like we're 3-1, right? We're 3-1. I understand we're 3-1, but it's concerning because it's been an issue not just this season. It's been starting to happen. So I get concerned about that. I don't like that. Like you have to do better, and I don't know. I'm not going to point to any one specific, but I think it starts with another statistic too. When I look at Alabama's starting five, giving up one pressure for the entirety of the game, and you could say that they were holding and this and that, and I get it. But again, you play through the officiating. Guys, we've known the officiating has not been great. It wasn't like this was the first game that it's been complete shit. It's been bad. It's been bad. You've got to just fucking play through it. You cannot expect to win a game with one fucking pressure. You had one sack, and it wasn't even on Ty Simpson. It was on Jeremy Bernard trying to throw a pass or some shit like it. Like that right there to me screams. It just immediately throws up a red flag to me, and I don't really know what to tell you, but I think that's where it starts. You have to get pressure right. We said this on the last episode. You have to make him get uncomfortable. You have to get home. Keon, there were plays where the DB room was forced to cover for 6 or more seconds multiple times. If you're telling me it's taking you 6 seconds to get to the quarterback, oh, by the way, he looked like he had a clean 4 yards from anyone near him. I'm not putting the blame on the DBs nearly as much as other people are going to. Just not going to do it. You have to find a way to get home. You have to do it. You're Georgia. This is what you come here to play for. You're supposed to do this. Right now, no one's getting fucking pressure. And what do you expect? You have a quarterback in his first SEC road start dicing you the fuck up because he has all the time in the world. Keon, I was only a high school quarterback. I feel like I could have made some of those throws. Like I had the perfect pocket. Now, sometimes he was getting hit, but he's already out. It's already out. So, I mean, what are we supposed to do as fans? When you sit there and you watch a quarterback, I don't think I think Joe Neliguero popped him early, like one time. That was about it, what it felt like. I'm going to yield some time to you, sir, but that's just where I'm at with it. You've got to, we called that. You have to get home to people, and you ain't fucking doing it. You're just not doing it at the clip that you need, especially in those critical moments in those games to win it. That first half was horrible. Dude, the first quarter, you go 7 for 7. Alabama goes 7 for 7 in the first quarter on third down. 7 for 7. It's one thing to have 7. Some people don't even have 7 third down opportunities in a fucking game, let alone a quarter, Keon. Bama had 14 play drive touchdown. We go 3 and out. 10 plus play drive, 14-0. Credit to the offense and the run game for getting us on a 3-play drive to get us back 14-7. But it's just I'm sitting there listening to it, and I'm watching that game, and I don't feel like the pressure's there. And I just don't know. Maybe it's just me not being a ball knower. I don't know. What did you see?
I'm gonna start this out by saying this. This is the worst defensive performance we've seen out of a Georgia team in the last 30 years. I'm also start out by saying this. There's not a single player that I blame for this loss. Not a single one. Not a single one. Not a single one. I think we 100% lost this game because of coaching, because of the fact that uh, it's so many things, right? Like it's so many things. We lost this game because of coaching. We lost this game because of roster construction, situational awareness. We lost this game for not knowing your personnel. We lost this game because it looks like, just from a defensive standpoint, that these guys didn't do their homework on Ty Simpson at all. At all. Um, at this point, I'm ready to say it. Georgia needs a new DC. Flat out. Flat out. We spotted them 28 points last year. And yet somehow, and lost by more, might I add. We lost by more points last year than what we did this year. And yet somehow, the defensive performance was worse this year than what it was last year. The defensive play calling was worse this year than what it was. And mind you, different quarterbacks. Cool. Fine. Ty Simpson, hats off. Hell of a game. Deserves all the props in the world. But to be all the way honest, by the time that man arrived back in Tuscaloosa, he could have took that jersey off of them shoulder pads and went to bed with it that night. It was that clean. I'm there's not a kid I blame. I know there's a lot of Georgia fans that look at that deep shot to Taylon Taylor and the fact that he dropped it. Let me be the first one to say that ball shouldn't even have gone to him in the first place. It shouldn't have. That play shouldn't have been for him in the first place. No, it's not a relax. No, it's not just one game, because we haven't gotten pressure this entire season. Have we, Rob?
I think we've got maybe 2 sacks or something like that. Not
Come
even,
on.
and even if you want to look at pressures, we're not getting pressures at the clip we should be.
Nowhere near.
So
how do we bring in the
we're
issues from last? Listen,
I
we
just look
brought
at it
the
this way. Look,
issues. We
I
brought
see
the
what
issues from last season into this season, along with newer issues. DBs not knowing where they need to be, not knowing how to play the ball. There's so many things with this defense.
Keon, I'm gonna put a theory out. I want to get your opinion on this. The fact that we played so many close games last year, not being able to rotate guys in, are we seeing the growing pains of that?
I mean,
Because that to me, and I see Cookie's question about relax, it's just one game. That's why me and Keon both think that it's not just one game. This has been brewing, and I think it's been a long time coming, and we're having to just deal with it right now. And that's not a good spot for us to be in.
We
knew coming into the season, Keon, that there was going to be some growing pains, right? With regards to you got like 54%, I think was the number, 54% start, first time starts and stuff like that. Listen, that's fine. But at the same time, like Georgia prides itself on development. And honestly, part of it is getting up in games to allow guys to get in-game reps.
Christian Miller. What did you do?
I don't even want to point out kids, man. I just think
And I'm not even blaming him. I'm not even blaming him for the loss. What have you done this season? Fuck this game. What have you done this season?
I just look at it, Keon, as a situation where you've got guys trying to assert things, but the communication is not good on defense, and that just is not what Georgia's built itself upon.
How you struggle with communication at home?
It still can get loud, but I get your point.
We not used to this?
Well, last year you didn't get to. You played most of your games at home or away. Excuse me.
But if you can communicate on the road.
Well, it's quiet for the offense. That's what you're probably going to be hearing. If you're on the road, defense, the fans are going to be quieter for the offense. Whereas at home, it's going to be stupid loud. So I get that logic. But still, communication is a problem.
Listen,
I'm looking at the secondary more so, Keon. I'm looking at the secondary more so than I am like linebackers. I thought played good.
Dante
played good.
T-Rob. What y'all doing?
I thought DeMello played all right. Am I wrong? Again, I'm not going to even look at the DB. I'm not even going to look at the DBs as much, dude. You couldn't get pressure up front, and it forced DBs to have to cover way longer than they're expected to.
I'm watching guys out there. Look, I think it's what are we doing? Right? Like what are we doing? What do we look like? What are the things that this team prides itself on? Being able to run the ball and play punch you in the forehead defense. I don't know. I got 25 years in of watching this team. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. We have a genuine pass rush.
But allowing 13 conversions on defense. So Keith, I see you down here. You mind pulling that comment up? Rob, Keith, right? So gone are the days of being able to stack depth and build a roster. You have to roll with what you have. Here's the problem, Keith. I agree with you. The problem is with that is I'm not seeing guys step out there and look like they know what they're doing. I'm not seeing guys step out there and be put in the right positions. And to be quite all the way honest, knowing the quarterback that Ty Simpson is, it doesn't seem like we were even prepared. With the first half, we didn't look prepared at all. And my biggest problem, how many games do we have to keep going into where the offense just plays reactionary football? We're not attacking. We're not aggressive. We're not.
If you're supposed to be Georgia, why are we playing down way too much?
Brother, the last time we played an aggressive game was when we played Texas at Texas. That's it. You can't give me a name of another game. Maybe the SEC championship. I mean, honestly.
Even then, it wasn't as aggressive as you could have been.
Come on.
But I mean, because if you really think about it, I think what you're saying is the Texas game was the first time we got a lead, we established the lead, and never gave it up either.
The defensive
hell, this goes back to last season, Keon. How many games last season did we start down?
Come on.
Like, listen, is this a product of us being spoiled with 21 and 22? I'd like to think not. because I feel like we're getting better at recruiting. Like I understand that NIL and transfer portal are having an impact, but Georgia's still recruiting in the top 3. There's no fucking excuse to not get what you need.
I'm not, yet again, bro, I'm not blaming a single kid for this loss. I'm not. I think all of them played a major part in us losing this game, to be all the way honest with you. Every last one of them. So it's not like it's just, oh, well, if you would have did this, we could have won the game. I think every last player that put a G on their hat had something to do with us losing. And I think, to be all the way honest with you, I think that the coaching staff didn't help any of them. Not a single one.
I'll tell you what, though, Keon. To anybody that wants to bash Bobo after Saturday, I'm not listening to it. I think that might be the bright spot. I thought he coached a damn good game. I thought he coordinated a really, really good game. A really good game. Because what I saw was the immediate emergence of the run game, and he stuck with it. He found ways to generate run yards, right? He did that. Gunner, if you look at Gunner's passing yards, it wasn't ideal. But when you run for 200 more yards, like 200 or more yards, make sure I'm clear there. In theory, you should not lose a game like that, because we dominated in the run game. Chauncey Bowens ran over for 100 by himself. You dominated in the run game. Period. And when you sit there, you saw some of these, especially in the fourth quarter, Keon, Zachariah Branch, buddy, that's probably the bright spot of the transfer portal for us. My God, coming in on a 3rd and 12 and just taking a shot, but catching it and extending the drive, right? Talk about that. But I'm also looking at this, Keon. I don't like to see kids lose playing time, but if it's warranted, it is what it is, unfortunately. What are your thoughts on Nate Frazier not seeing the field after that fumble? Because that would be the third in as many weeks, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, Kirby mentioned either today or after the game that he was just riding the hot hand with Chauncey. But Chauncey hasn't turned the ball over. Like, for the most part, it's unfortunately been Nate Frazier. Like, keep in mind, I know it's way too early to say that coulda, woulda, shoulda. You don't fumble that football, they don't get 3 points, right? So Brad Pitt asked, did Schumann peak with Lanning's remaining players? I don't necessarily. I think they coach entirely different. When I look at the defense, Keon, see if you see where I'm going with this. When Dan Lanning was Georgia's defensive coordinator, buddy, there was a different type of fire out there on defense. Hell, you saw what Dan Lanning was about at the whiteout here in Penn State. Buddy, looked like a damn maniac after winning that game. Looked like a damn maniac. Maybe that's what you're missing. Maybe it's just a coaching style, right? It's not. I'm not going to look at Glenn Schumann and say you need to literally be a copycat of Dan Lanning on how he coaches. They're different. But part of me wonders if that's becoming a problem, because Dan Lanning was extremely aggressive, so much so that we had to tone it down with Muschamp. Muschamp comes in and immediately says, "Hey, simplify this shit down." Like, we were being uber aggressive with Lanning. Don't necessarily see that here. That's just my thoughts. Just my thoughts.
I just don't think it's working. I think
I think it works for everybody except fucking Bama, but even then, I just want to see more aggression to start. I feel like we don't have that.
I feel with every game we have played this season, we have started out reactionary. I think for damn near every game we played last season, we started out reactionary. I think for every game we played in 2023, we came out reactionary on the defense. We are a punch you in the face or get punched, get punched. Halftime comes, then the adjustments come, right? That's how we've been, that's what it's been. It's been that way for years, has it not?
Feels that way. I will say this too, though. That
It's
model.
it's time. I'm out on Glenn Schumann. Hell of a linebacker coach, hell of a linebacker recruiter. That DC, no, 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 no. I just don't feel. And then even think back to last season. Some of the games where you saw our defense go the craziest. Yeah, who did you have on the sideline? Yeah, Will Muschamp. Who did you have calling plays? Yeah, Kirby, Georgia Tech. If Kirby doesn't take over, we lose the Georgia Tech game. You realize that, right? So the SEC championship, potentially us going to playoffs, all of that shit kind of canceled out, right? Like, well, you're looking at a 9-3 season. Actually, let me take that back because the SEC championship, I believe, was secured before that game was played. I do believe that there was that because of the fact that they were not a conference team. But you're looking at us potentially 3 losses if Kirby doesn't just take over.
Yeah, I
So
mean, you could have been a 3-loss. You could have been a 3-loss SEC team or SEC champ. Well, no, not a. Yeah.
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 I mean, I'm at this point, I'm out on Schumann. Um, Mike Bobo, player recognition, play calling. Why? Look, I think games are bigger than just one moment. So let me just start there. Why are we running the ball with Cash Jones on 4th and 1? Meanwhile, Chauncey Bowens, meanwhile, Josh McCray going crazy. Player recognition.
Well, I think it's understanding the scenario too.
Taylor, why are you giving him that deep shot? And you didn't give him a single target for the rest of the game. You didn't give him a single target leading into that throw. You didn't.
I think there's some inconsistencies there too, because what I mean by that is Sokovia White comes on the field, catches a screen pass, then goes off the field, never to be felt like he's seen again.
Noah Thomas, wide open. What are we doing? What is he here for? I get it. We got Kobe Young. I get that. I understand that. But why are we not using Noah Thomas as a person who can catch passes when you don't have Kobe Young on the field? Like I don't understand. I don't understand that. You didn't even give Taylor an opportunity to even get in a groove before you gave him a deep shot. That should have been a pass for Zachariah Branch. I hate the fact that that kid was even put in that moment because you didn't even give him a chance to get into a rhythm of the game. You just called his number. Hey, kid, get in there. Oh, snap. He makes a mistake. Now you have damn near the entire fan base grilling the kid, which I don't think is fair at all. I don't think it's fair at all. I think the coaching staff did a fucking horrible job in this game all the way around. Offense, defense, Kirby getting in a post game pretty much. Here's another thing, Rob. And this is something that really like irritated me. You're going to get in front of the cameras and you're going to tell the world, losing to Bama doesn't really bother me. I don't lose sleep over it. Rob, you ever lost sleep behind a Bama loss?
Slightly, yes. It makes you feel some type of way.
Every single Georgia fan at this point has lost sleep behind a Bama loss. Now, bear in mind, for the people who don't know, who don't really understand the history, 9 times out of 10, we playing Bama, we playing for something. Like, there's a trophy involved at the end of the game.
Especially in recency. Like,
Come on.
With a
Come on,
recency
Rob.
bias, you're always playing for something big. Like, I just look at it this way, and again,
I don't
I'm
trust
not
this
going-
coaching staff.
I'm not going all out on the hate the whole staff.
I don't trust them. I don't trust them. Rob, we've been seeing the same issues for the last 2-3 years.
I get that, but they're two different things. What I'm saying and what you're saying. I get it. I get what you're saying. For me, though, I think there's some good to take away from these.
Absolutely.
You just got to earn my trust now, because
that's it.
Honestly, the way I look at it is, it's just, if you fix the aggression on defense, right? I understand. Like, we talked about the talent, talked about Talon Taylor. Listen, I'm not sitting there bashing the kid for missing a drop, like dropping a pass. The problem is that was the one that you should never drop. Like, that felt worse than Dylan Bell last season. But
I'm not even going to say that, because the kid wasn't even put in a position to even catch the ball.
What I'm saying is, you've got a good chunk of the fan base got an extreme case of PTSD from watching that happen. Now, to be fair, Ryan Williams did the same thing earlier in the game. Keep in mind, Ryan Williams did the same thing earlier in the game.
What's the biggest difference?
He's in the game all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I just look at it this way, too. I know we've talked about our receiving core, Keon, and I love the depth that we have. And I understand the complexities of trying to rotate guys in to, you know what I mean, especially in today's world, to keep people happy and at home, right? I think that matters. But I feel like there's an opportunity to try to balance out some and get more consistent there, right? Like, if you figure out something that's working, stick with it, right? And force them to make the adjustments off of it. Zachariah Branch, dude, they were so focused on Zachariah Branch. Dylan Bell goes for, like, he literally flips the field on an end around where he fakes it to Zach. And everybody just falls in line, just whoop, and just gone, right? So we knew who they were honed in on. And yet he still made plays. Like, Zachariah Branch still made plays. Again, that third down to extend the drive, key catch. But I'm just looking at it in the sense that I see what you're saying. I would have loved to see these guys get more reps, but it's also on the same side. There's so many receivers, Keon. This doesn't feel like years past where we struggled to have a good receiving core. We've got so many bodies that we feel that can go out there and do these things. How do you get them into a rhythm if you're trying to feed everybody and keep them happy? So it's I get the double-edged sword. It's just frustrating. It's extremely frustrating.
Can you pull that last question? These two teams play again. Who wins? Bama.
We said this on the last episode, Sanjay, that, listen, we called this. We knew this was coming. Like, there's a lot of the national media that didn't want to believe it. They had Georgia winning this game. We've seen this enough to know. Like, at this point, I said, and Keon, quote me if I'm wrong, on the last episode, on the Alabama preview, if they come out and if they come into Athens and they beat us, no one is convincing me to change my mind
until they do it.
Alabama owns Georgia. There's no doubting it. I don't care. Kirby has no excuse now. None. You come into Athens for the first time as a head coach. This was the first time since 2015. This is Kirby's first opportunity to take on Alabama at home, and you fuck it up. There's no more excuses for me to believe that Alabama owns Georgia. You're not changing my mind on that. I don't care. You would have to win what you're doing to Tennessee right now for me to think about it. But right now, there's a stranglehold that the Alabama Crimson Tide and Tuscaloosa are locking shit down. So you're not getting me to change my mind. Alabama owns Georgia, and you have to understand and accept it. Even if you don't want to fucking do it, this might be the worst tasting medicine, period, but you have to take it. Unless you're just not a real fan, in my opinion. It sucks. Listen, it sucks. It sucks. But unfortunately, it's the truth. It's the truth. And listen, I know Alabama fans are about to come in there and they're talking and they're saying, good. They deserve it because they own us. And if you don't want to hear that, if a Georgia player, whoever, anybody from Georgia doesn't want to hear that, Georgia's got to fucking do something about it.
That's the worst part about it, Rob, is like these kids get trolled behind this stuff. These kids get trolled behind this stuff, but this coaching staff didn't help them really at all. Like I said, the defense of play calling, I feel like play design was horrible. Horrible.
To be fair, there were some offensively. I thought there were some really good run schemes that really, Keon, we saw gaping holes. Like,
Rob, if you would have told me coming into this game that Georgia would have shut out Bama in the second half and would have damn near ran, and if we would have damn near ran 300 yards on them, I'd have asked you, did we beat them by 21 points or was it 17? Did we just get to the red zone and just stall out and just had to kick a field goal for that one? Or was it just 3 straight touchdowns? Because honestly, at this point, that's just what I would have thought. I'd have thought we would have had it in the bag. But for you to shut them out in the second half and still lose at home, I'm tired of this being the bonehead game where we play Alabama and it's like our coaching staff forgets how to coach. And then you get into post games, they put a microphone in front of Kirby, and what does Kirby say to the masses? Well, what's everybody else's record against them?
Don't do that. You're not everyone else, man. That's what the standard's set to be. Not everybody else. You're supposed to be, the standard is the best, right? In my thoughts. So you're not everybody else. So why are we
all the Georgia fans, please, when you tune in this Saturday to watch the Dogs play Kentucky, watch how many people are not in the stands.
Oh, it's about to get disgusting.
Watch how many people aren't in the stands.
Hear me out, though. That environment was awesome. I thought you had Bama fans saying it wasn't that loud. I don't give a shit about their opinion on that. Dude, that place looked like it was rocking. It sounded like it, and that was from the TV. I'm sure it was louder. The problem is I think the fan base is smart enough to get it. When you can't get off the field, it deflates the environment. I get that. I will say this. I hate to say that the kids are about to experience it, but you're probably going to see a home game that's going to look rough. I don't think you're. I don't. To me, it might feel like a homecoming game, and it's going to be disgusting to see it because I think the fans. I'm not saying everybody's like us, Keon, but I just get this feeling that people are just tired of it, man. Like, if you think about it, if you get some key stops early in the drive, right? Like early, if you can stop them on third downs, you had them in third and long situations too, might have added, and they still got it. So, you see what I mean? Like, you stopped it. Who's to say? But I'm going to do this because everybody's talking about that 4th and 1 play. And hear me out. Keon, we've known each other for years now. I've been an advocate in big games, in crucial moments, take the points. I heard counter arguments talking about you had the momentum. I don't care. I understand that logic, but that's not me. I'm conservative when it comes to points. When you have the opportunity to kick a field goal and get points, you do it. You do it. And it's not just a Georgia thing. I've done this to Oregon with Dan Lanning because Dan Lanning was doing it. I've always kind of been critical about Lane Kiffin going for it on fourth downs. Shane Beamer when he did it against us. I'm just not a proponent for giving up points if you can take them, right? If you can take them. I get the momentum's a big deal. I do. But again, if you have the opportunity, Keon, to tie the damn ball game up in a second half where they haven't scored. Listen, you haven't gotten off the field, but they still haven't scored. It changes how Alabama has to play. I understand it's coming off of a situation where we stopped them on a 4th and 1. I get that. But you're never going to tell me I'm always going to think, take the points. Keon, I'm not an NFL guy. You are. How many times do you see teams on a 4th and 1? Is the NFL doing it now more where they're going for it on 4th and 1s in field goal range? In these kinds of moments, what am I seeing here? Fill me in on the NFL, please.
Well, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that they made the wrong decision in going for it. I think they made the wrong decision in what running back to have out there. Because you didn't run the ball at all with Cash Jones throughout the entire game. You got Josh McCray and Chauncey Bowens there. Why didn't you it's the coaching staff, man. I've lost a lot of faith in the coaching staff.
Well, this is the second comment that we've had on this 4th and 1, so I guess it's time to talk about it. And listen, we're going to end on a good note, like we said. So there's some good things, and I think this will be a perfect transition. So Brett Pitt says 4th and 1, Overton. Shout out to Overton for making that play, by the way. But it looks like he barely got a glove on Cash Jones and he went down. Maybe a bigger back sheds that off and scores. All about personnel.
Thank you.
Ron says he heard that he was able to get a hold of his shoestring. Maybe he was able to get a finger in the loop. Fair. Hear me out. Here's how this play worked for me. Keon, the call, I think, was right. It's a walk-in my opinion. But what happens, and this is why LT Overton should get credit for this, whether you're a Georgia fan or not, I don't care. He made this play.
Absolutely.
He squeezed in between the right side. I think it was Gasson and Glover at that point. Gets the squeeze in, goes underneath, and makes the play. Keon, you've seen this in the NFL. All it takes is for one little touch can throw you off, and it did. Everybody wants to shout on that, just get all mad about it. No, I'm giving LT Overton all the credit on that because he slipped through the guard tackle combo. He made the play. Now, to be fair, if you had, he did get the foot or whatever. And honestly, if you had a different personnel, maybe that changes. But when Kirby looks at that situation, I think in the post game he had talked about it. If he was planning on taking points, had we not made any kind of progress on 3rd down. So, in my opinion, if you're going 3rd down situation and you're going tempo on the 4th, why are we not putting a running back in that could make sure we get a yard or 2 yards, depending on how we were going for it like that, in the instance that are you trying to put a pass situation to kind of open up things? Because I thought, honestly, it looked like Gunnar may have got that 1st down from a different angle, but nonetheless, it's still 4th and 1. So, I think this goes back to your point of the personnel recognition in the situations, right? To me, that's not the right move. But again, I'm not getting paid millions upon millions of dollars either, Keon. So, maybe they know something that we don't because we never get to see it about it. We never get to see or hear from it in practice anyway. So, but either way, I'm gonna be the one to give LT Overton the credit for making that play, taking advantage of the right side of that line.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So listen, Keon, we went for about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, just getting the negative, get the bad out of the way. Okay. I want to make sure that the viewers and the listeners that have stuck through get rewarded because there was some good in this. There was some good in this. So I think it's fair for the people that have stuck around to hear what we have to say in the good way. We're not just going to bash people after a loss. We take the good and the bad here at the DGD Podcast. That's what we do. That's what we do. I think the perfect transition, that right side. That right side, for what it's worth, with Gaston, with Donnie Glover, I think that. And listen, I thought Bo Hughley did all right too.
Yep.
But what I want to see more of is the consistency at the right guard and right tackle. If that means putting Glover and Gaston out there as two true freshmen and just rolling with it, whatever. I just want to see. And listen, I like all three of them too. I'm not pinpointing one or the other out. I'm just saying that right side looked a whole lot better than what it was at Tennessee. I'll tell you that. Now, is that because Alabama doesn't have a pass rush like us either? Maybe. I don't know. I will say this, though. Buddy, we were running the fucking right side of the field. Like, we were rolling and running some huge plays on that right side. So I've got to say that right side, I know they're young, but I think there's a lot of good things and a lot of promise there at that right side. I genuinely believe that because it looked light years better than Tennessee. I think we can both agree on that.
1,000%. You got to give your hats off to those guys. Shout out to those three gentlemen, Juan Gaston, Bo Hughley, and Dontrell Glover. Y'all played a fantastic game, and hats off to you guys, especially in the running game. That's another thing, the running game. Holy shit. We can run the ball on anybody after what I just saw. I mean,
yeah, hear me out too, right? We've sat here and said that we don't trust the coaching staff earlier. I get that. That still doesn't mean that the running backs that we have, we can run our way to 10 or 11 wins.
definitely.
Just saying. We could easily do that. And we've got to play across the board. We've got to get better. Understand that there's a lot to grow from. And Kirby said he saw some stuff that I think he feels confident with. We'll see. But what I saw, Keon, was the emergence of RB1 and maybe even RB2. For this game. I say for this game. Because they couldn't stop McCray on the goal line. That man, he was just running past people, like just running through people, and I loved it.
What's that
Chauncey,
thing?
in my opinion, though,
you remember being a kid?
Set.
You remember being a kid going to an arcade, and I forgot the name of this game, but it was, you would just pull, and like a metal ball would just come rolling down, or you would just there'd be like two little prongs that would just like make it bounce and stuff like that. What is that called? Pinball. That's exactly what that man was. As soon as you handed him the ball, he was somehow falling backwards every time into the end zone.
I think his performance was summed up perfectly at that goal line on that fourth and on that like 1 yard touchdown run. But any other running back gets tackled right there. He just said, just runs through, bam, touchdown.
I'm telling you,
like that's the shit you want to see. And so
absolutely.
Yeah. And listen, I'm not gonna be the one to shit on Nate Frazier. But I genuinely think now, with multiple games of him fumbling, the running back room, I think you might have to just start seeing less and less, or have him earn his reps back. I hate doing it because it's in these kind of moments, but it wasn't like you took a kill shot to fumble the ball either. Like, if you take, I get it. Like, if you take a kill shot, Keon, and you get hit and knocked out and shit like that, like, I get it. But it wasn't like he got like just smacked either for the ball to fall out. But it's ball security. Like,
Right.
are we about to remember the Titans and have him run a mile for every time the ball hits the ground? Who knows? Who knows? But no. But again, I mean, when you've got Chauncey Bowens running like he is, dude, Keon, we've heard off air. Bama fans are like, dude, Chauncey Bowens, motherfucker, boy, he is tough.
Mm-hmm.
He's tough. He's tough. And again, I mean, he runs for well over 100 by himself. You know, you had the big chunk play for Dylan Bell. Like, we were finding creative ways to run the football too. It's not just inside zone. It's not right. Hell, we saw the under center toss sweep. Keon scored the touchdown in the red zone for Chauncey Bowens.
Not for real.
And you know how I am about under center.
Absolutely.
Buddy, sign me up. But no, I'm looking at that right there. And honestly, I look back, with the front and everything, I'm just kind of looking at it in a sense too. I thought the offensive line played well.
I did too.
I thought they played well. I didn't really see a lot of issues there. I think there were some certain instances where maybe the pocket could have been a little bit better. But I think partially too is just Gunnar getting more in-game experience. You just got to get him time and reps. He's got to stay up and move in the pocket. That's something when we look and compare this, man, that's where Ty Simpson is, in my opinion, light years ahead. And it's disgusting to think about this from this standpoint of, Gunnar being in the system for multiple years and just Ty Simpson coming in and just looking better, just roughly same amount of snaps and stuff. But yeah, Keon, I look at this too. Mike Bobo's got some ammunition coming in, and one would lead me to believe that there's no excuse for that. That's a 5-star quarterback coming in with Jared Curtis.
Absolutely.
Listen, those Bobo fans, those Bobo haters might not want to hear it, but if you let Bobo go, I don't know if Curtis sticks around. Just my opinion.
He's also trying to secure another 5-star quarterback, Jalen Wade.
He was there in the stands, by the way, too.
Yep. So
I mean, everybody wants to think that Keon, when you look at the quarterback performance, right, that has 100% of the impact. And while it has an impact, it's not everything. If you show an excellent offensive line performance and a dominant run game, that right there is a quarterback's best friend. It's a best friend, especially a dominant offensive line. Keon, is there anybody that you saw that you want to give credit for? Give a shout out to for doing some good shit.
Yeah, I'll go with Chauncey Bowens.
I'm going with Zachariah Branch again, though.
Yeah.
I think his toughness was on display there too. Taking that shot too on that.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. He caught a missile in between four.
It was 3, I think, but nonetheless, it was in a window. And,
dude,
by the way,
I mean,
that right there, I want you to understand that play specifically, Keon, not only did Zachariah Branch show the catch that we needed, Gunnar could put it in some windows, buddy. And to me, that is a sign of growth. So when we sit there, we listen. All year, we've heard he's left yards on the field, and maybe he has. But when he is confidently slinging that bitch into a window like that and completing a catch and extending a drive, I've got to take that with the fact.
Dude,
because at least you see the growth is coming, right?
That ball is coming out of there fast.
Well, by the way, he had damn near
that shit coming out so fast, Rob.
No, if he doesn't do that, there's a pick early in the game. By the way, legitimately, he threw the ball so hard that the linebacker had no chance to catch it.
Yeah,
no chance to catch it. So Brad also says Colby Young fighting for that extra yardage can't be overlooked. Never is. I think that's just what he's good for. And you're guaranteed to try to see him fight for it. That's what you want to see, and you want all your receivers to model that too.
Absolutely.
Keon, we need to talk defense a little bit too. Your boy Justin Williams. I got to talk about this. He gets on the field. And you see that athleticism kicking in because that right there, that adjustment forced some issues for Alabama. I don't think they were expecting that. Listen, I'm not knocking CJ. I thought CJ had a good game. I did. But there's a different level of athleticism between CJ and Justin, and it's apparent.
Bro, our linebacker play next year is going to be absolutely.
There shouldn't be any drop off. And listen, Glenn Schumann is responsible for building that.
100%.
So,
he's a great position coach.
We talked about this. I'm going to give him credit too. That linebacker room is dirty because you also have Zayden Walker behind him too, and AJ Crua. But anyways, no, I thought Justin Williams coming up and was making some good plays. His teammate at high school, Jonye, was doing some good things as well. I think he got after the quarterback a little bit too. But when I look at Justin Williams, man, that closing speed is what's really going to be a problem for opposing offenses when he gets on the field more.
Oh, for sure.
Let me think. Ken, I wanted to sit there and look at a guy like Chris Cole.
Yeah.
And be like, that was the difference maker. But one of the things that just kind of upset me a little bit, we talked about this. Getting him in that mismatch, right? We thought that was the matchup, him to exploit Caden Proctor. But we didn't see that too much. I don't understand. Do you understand why we didn't see much of it? Because, I mean, really, he's kind of been our pass rush.
That's the question for the DC.
But I'm not gonna get back into the rabbit hole of negativity. I just wanted to come on here and say that, like, I was expecting him to have more of an impact there in the pass rushing department. It just didn't happen. I would have loved to see that though. I'm ready to start looking at guys like Chase Linton and stuff too, see if they can get on the field. I really want to see that. I really want to see that because I think, as we kind of put this Alabama game to bed, Keon, and we start to look into Kentucky early on, I genuinely want to see these things that we're having issues with get adjusted. I want to see these adjustments to start the game. I want to see guys in there wrecking shit. I want to see guys, listen, Quintavious, Gabe Harris, we know what they're about. They're able to stop the run. But who's going to be able to be that pass disruptor? Who's going to be that havoc seeker, right? I need to see it. Keon, any final thoughts before we let this one go?
Coaching staff, offense and defense, and head coach need to all take a hard look at themselves. Can't say you're elite if you can't beat elite teams.
I mean,
this is the same head coach that told us you're either elite or you're not.
Yep. Listen, so again, come on here. We've said our piece. We've aired grievances. We've done all this. With that being said, though, we hope the people that have stuck around that are still listening understand. Not only are we airing grievances, but we're also bringing praise where it's due. Because we've talked about the good, we've talked about the bad. You have to do this to that kind of progressive talk. You need to have that kind of progression with talk and discourse. It's okay for us to critique. It's okay for us to do that. The DGD podcast is not this podcast. It's not this content where we're just sunshine pumping at all times. Because if you do that, it's not being realistic. So we push ourselves to be realistic for all of it. Anybody that listens to this show or watches the show. So we're just showing you. And listen, we try to bring in what we see every time. We've done the same thing, Keon, in wins. And we've praised in losses. We've done it before throughout the years. Nothing changes here.
Right.
We see what we see, and we critique it.
Right.
You'll never hear us bashing anybody completely. It's not what we do. But when it comes down to it, we have to be real with everybody listening. So we hope that you understand that. We expect things to be down a little bit right now because of this type of conversation. Kid, it's not fun. I said it again. It's that medicine that you don't want to take, but you know it's going to be beneficial.
Right.
So Now Brad Pitt, the final comment says, "What was that damn noise they played 487 times on second and third down? Is that viral noise or whatever?" I thought something was up with my TV until I realized it wasn't the game. But yeah, neither here nor there on that. By the way, make sure to support. If you're supporting us, make sure you're supporting Bark Performance. Keon, did you have any Bark Performance? Either way. But no, make sure to go to dgdpod.com/bark or go to barkperformance.com and use code DGDPodcast10. Get 10% off your first order. With that being said, we're going to wrap this thing up. I'm Robert. We'll catch y'all next time for the Kentucky preview. Have a good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We'll catch y'all later. Go Dogs.